Okay, and we are back again on Wednesday, and yeah, just another day, I think. How are you? How are you doing, Dan? You good?
I'm good. I just want to share something special with you. I shared it on my story today. So for those who don't follow me, you probably haven't heard about it. But yesterday I signed up for a CrossFit competition in September. So it will be my first CrossFit competition. So I will be competing in the build category. So for people who are, let's say, CrossFit newbies. And this is just a small step for me towards competing like in open category next year. Actually, I didn't even plan it. Like during the weekend, I just saw like, okay, there is a competition close to my place in September. They have this category for let's say newbies in CrossFit. So yeah, I can do it. Let's say.
Nice. Oh, that's very cool. So CrossFit competition. Oh, that's very good. Yeah, I don't know why, but yesterday, I had a little moment, like I just wasn't feeling it, and then I went to the gym, and then the person in the gym asked me, "Oh, how are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I just." There are days that you go into the gym to train, but then there are days that you go into the gym just to let some steam off. And yesterday was one of those days. So, but now I'm feeling better. And
Mhm.
yeah, we can jump into the game now, I think, if you're ready.
Okay. Yeah. Let's play the game, as this character from the horror movie, used to say.
Let's
Like
play a
the
game.
Yeah, let's play a game.
Let's play a game. Yeah. So for people who don't know, today me and Dan are gonna play a little game, and we call it the What If game. So and the context to this is quite simple, which is um it's there. I think it's there with a purpose as well. We're not just playing a game. It's an entrepreneurial game. We try to phrase it, and we want to make it sort of like asking what if questions so that we can spark some creativity and just explore things that we might not have explored in the past. And this is where I think innovation, creation, and sort of exploratory new ideas can surface themselves sometimes. So we will ask each other three questions. Might take some time for Dan to think about it, for me to think about it, because we don't share the questions beforehand. So it'll be interesting to see. And in fact, I prepared more than three, but let's see which one I feel like asking.
Uh, Oh, damn! I prepared three, and actually, I'm starting to worry whether these questions will be to some extent appropriate.
Oh,
But yeah, but we will see.
cool. Okay, never mind. So let me pick from my list, and I will see. Okay, I quite like this because I came up with this one when I was preparing for it. So, then, what if you could read your client's minds? How would you use this special capability of yours when it comes to your entrepreneurial journey?
I guess selling and addressing objections, that would be the most important. Like reading clients' minds would be the most important feature for sales process. Because sometimes you might, like, right now it's about learning. It's also about reading your client's mind, but more of guessing your client's mind. So I had this client some time ago, potential client, and we were going on for weeks, and it looked like a, let's say, done deal, but at some point they said, oh no, yeah, like, it will not work because of the budget. It's always about the money, let's be honest. But if I knew before that it's coming, that it's about the budget, probably I wouldn't waste so much time on that client. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, it would be a good thing for them, but but not only for me, but for them as well. You know, we would not waste time on each other if we knew what is going on there. You know.
Yeah. So I did think that the first answer you would give is sales, right? So I was thinking to myself as a follow-up, which is if you can really read your clients' minds, you know what's coming up, you know what they will say when you pitch them. They might say no, they might say yes, you already know it. Do you think you would miss out a bit of fun of being an entrepreneur if you know everything that's going to happen?
I like it's a good point from your side, and I think at the beginning it would be like great that, you know, closing clients one after another and being like, yeah, wow, so, it's great that I'm closing clients because I can read their minds, right? But then probably after some time I would feel like there is no challenge for me here. So it's not as interesting as it would be if I didn't have this ability. Let's say, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay, so that was my what if. Now it's your turn.
Okay, my what if is a bit more personal. So I'm, because like when you were explaining the rules to me, I you gave this example like, what if you haven't become a digital marketing entrepreneur, for example, right?
Mm,
So I was thinking more of personal questions.
yep,
So I will go with more personal question, or maybe I will come up with something else later.
sure.
But my question to you is, uh, what if you have never left Malaysia?
Oh, wow.
I know it's a big one.
This is like a live question. What if I've never left Malaysia? uh, oh, wow. I have not thought of that question before. Um, what if I have never left Malaysia? So for people who don't know, obviously I left Malaysia to the UK to study 7 years ago, and then ever since I've stayed here. What if I've never left Malaysia? I think if I have never left Malaysia, I would be living a life that is very comfortable.
Okay.
And the reason why I say that is because when I come overseas, I have to be learn to be independent. I have to learn to do things. I have to learn to spend time on my own. And I think if I were in Malaysia, I wouldn't have spent a lot of time trying to learn about myself better.
Hmm.
And I mean that by I won't, because I'll have friends, I'll have family. I won't be spending a lot of time on my own. And I think I will even go as far as saying if I have never left Malaysia, I wouldn't have been the person I am today. I think I will be, if there is a grading for human beings, every person can give them a score. I think my score, if I've never met Malaysia, would be a much lower than who I am today. And reason is just because I don't think I'll have as much exposure. I don't think I would have met as many people outside of my usual circle. And I wouldn't have pushed myself as much, I think, because I will be thinking that I've got parents that I can rely on. I've got friends I can speak to every weekend. Got a job, maybe. And I would say job, it's like job, things that I might not
Hmm.
enjoy as much. So if I've never left Malaysia, I don't think I would be doing anything that I'm doing today that pushes me out there, put me out there. Not sure whether that answers your question, but I don't think I would ever think that I will become an entrepreneur or doing side hustles if I have never left Malaysia.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good answer. Actually, I'm surprised and at the same time happy with your answer. But at the same time, I wanted to say something that it's very interesting what you said about like whether we can give a grading to a human being. I was wondering about it. I think today or yesterday, and I came to the point where I thought that it's really hard to give overall grading to a human being, because let's say someone might be an amazing entrepreneur, but at the same time they might be shit as friends, as family members, or maybe shit at sports, let's say. So probably overall rating would be have to be based on how you perform in different, let's say, areas of your life, and then you get an average of that. but but I think it's still hard. So I think we should be more like, okay, so this person is a better human being in this aspect, and this person is a better human being in this aspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, but still, I don't like to judge people based on, I don't know, what they do. Like, uh, of course, I admire some people based on their achievements in certain aspects, but overall, and I will include it in my future videos on my Instagram, so follow me on Instagram to hear about it. It's about respecting each other, because I think in 2021 that this is the most needed thing right now. Like,
Yeah.
we need respect. Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Absolutely. No. That's a great point. And you know how I said I actually prepared questions, and as you were speaking, I was like, scrap my questions. I'm gonna ask you a different question now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you this, which is something that you just mentioned, and I thought, okay, I'll ask you this. So Dan, as an entrepreneur, what if you can invent anything? What would it be?
Mm. Let me get my phone,
Okay.
and I have a list of business ideas and inventions and stuff like that. So it's really good, because sometimes we have business ideas on a spur of a moment, and you will just um, hmm. So something that could really benefit, let's say, um, the humanity overall. I
Hmm.
think it would be uh, orthopedic app, which would which would analyze our posture and mobility, and then it would give suggestions for us to exercise, because of the fact that we progressed so much in terms of technology. We become more and more we lead more and more sitting style of life, right?
Hmm.
Sitting lifestyle. And because of the sitting lifestyle, we have more and more back pains, knee pains, whatever part of your body. And I think we will need more and more services from chiropractors and stuff like that.
Cool. So it's like
So
a fitness type.
not really fitness, more of mobility thing. So
Okay.
so something that would be good for our parents, for our grandparents, for our colleagues from work. I don't have colleagues from work because I work on my own, to be honest. But let's say colleagues from your work who are like close to 40, they don't exercise much, so they would need some just simple exercises to keep them maybe not fit, but uh, give them some mobility, let them avoid some pains and stuff like that.
Nice. Nice. Cool. Before I hand the baton over to you, just for people who are watching, thank you for watching. And if you enjoy what we've been discussing so far, give us a like or subscribe, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, or even send us a question. If you are interested to go,
Yeah,
oh, you thought of
exactly.
something, you want to ask us a question, send it here, and we will pick it up where possible. So, okay, Dan, over to you.
Okay. So, can I? Okay, I didn't come up with any other question. Can I go again with some personal question?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, so because like my questions have some chronological order. So my next question is, what if you have never joined Toyota?
Okay. What if I've never joined? So for people who don't know, obviously I work for Toyota, which I still work for. What if I had never joined Toyota? Do you mean from if I were in the UK but I didn't join the company,
Yeah,
but
like
but,
like
but I'm here?
you did your studies at Newcastle University, if I remember well,
Yep.
and then you didn't go to the company that you work for right now. You would go probably somewhere else, or maybe do something else. What if? What if?
Okay. But would I be in the UK? I don't know.
Yeah.
What if?
Oh
Would
no. Oh yeah. Or maybe you would go back to Malaysia
okay,
after finishing your studies.
fine.
Yeah.
So in a in a in a I'll answer this in two ways. In a reality world, if I had not joined Toyota and I want to be in the country, I would have to get a different job in a different company. So if I never joined Toyota, I would have been working somewhere else if I were to be in the country. Or I would be in Malaysia, and you wouldn't know if I were in Malaysia, then I think chances are, you know what? Actually, I did think about this. If I were in Malaysia after some time spent in the UK, I think I would be quite miserable.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
I say that because I realize how much opportunities there are um, in 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 the UK.
Hmm.
It's just how the world works, you know. Not saying that there isn't any opportunities at home, but it's just that over here it's just so much easier to get opportunities somewhere else. So I would be thinking like, oh, I should have worked harder. I would have spent a lot of time dwelling on that instead of focusing on where can I go next. Now, if I had never joined my company and I am actually in the UK for some reason, and had knowing what I know now, I think I would have started a business.
Okay.
And obviously, people might or might not know is that I've always had a passion about coaching, learning about you know practical, scientifically backed things or skills, techniques, knowledge that can make us live just a better life, you know, like whether it's mindset, whether it's from exercise, everything. I just want to create like a holistic program or environment where I can help people in their 20s to understand that we can all grow and learn together and create like a cohort where people feel comfortable to be able to share goals and dreams. No one will shut you down. You are free to share who you are. And then we can all push each other to grow, to become a better person. And then if we all do it together, we can create a better world. So I think I would have gone for that direction more if I hadn't joined a company. But reality does kick in that I have to get a job in order to stay in the country. So struck a balance, right? So I have work in the company I work for, but at the same time doing this side hustle, doing this with you, you know, helped me learn a lot about myself, and doing my other side hustles around building this community also takes a lot of courage and effort. So I think if I hadn't joined a company and I'm in the UK, I would have gone full time into that. That's what I think I would do. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Cool. Really
cool.
good. Yeah.
I realize I've got a few friends on Facebook watching us now, so I'll be interested to see what they
Oh.
say.
Oh
See
wow.
what they say.
No, I think I don't think they will feel offended in any way.
No, I don't. No, no,
Uh,
no. I don't think they feel offended. I'm just thinking that I would love to see what people think, because I'm sure that, you know, I'm putting my goals and dreams out there, and you know, it's just my goals and dreams. You know, I recently heard someone said that if it's your goal, your dreams, your vision, why do we expect someone else to see it and feel it? Why do we work
Yeah.
so hard trying to convince somebody else to say, oh, like almost like seeking their agreement on something? And I think I get stuck in that cycle a lot. So now I'm just thinking that, I just put it out there. Not to say that I'll ignore everybody else's opinion, because sometimes feedback are valuable, but you have to kind of take it with a pinch of salt and go, it's my goal and my dream. And if I don't do it, I will suffer. They don't suffer. So it's about who do I want to become, what do I want to do at the end of the day. So long-winded answer. Yeah.
But I just want to add something to what you just said about putting your goals and dreams out there and letting people see them. You
Mm.
know, I think Gary Vaynerchuk once addressed this matter, and he said that people are too afraid to put out something to the world, whether it's their goals and dreams, whether it's their piece of content or whatever. They are afraid that someone will, I don't know, write negative comment. But the truth is, 99% of people don't give a shit about your goals, your dreams, your content. So actually, you have to be very unlucky to find this among this 1% person or group of people who will be bully to you in any way. Probably if you were 16, you would probably find some group of people from your school who would be bullying you. But let's be honest, we are 20, 25 myself, you are 27, 28.
And
I
27,
don't,
yeah.
yeah, 27. In our peer groups, I don't think you would find this group of people who would be like just waiting there to hate on your shit. Let's say,
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, people
yeah,
won't just sit there all day long just to uh just to um just to say something bad to you, right? Like, come on,
yeah.
better things to do out there. Cool. That's a great question. Well, I was gonna ask you some entrepreneurial oriented question, but since you go personal, I will go personal with you as well, if that's okay for my
Okay.
last question. So I know that we're quite close friends. We talk sometimes, and you have also shared in the previous episode where when you have really challenging times, your partner, your girlfriend gave you a lot of support and you do things, right? So what if you're still single? What would you do?
Uh,
Do you think you'll be the person you are today?
no, 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 definitely, definitely. Even I had a talk with a close person of mine. I mean, she's part of family now. So she told me that I grew as a person thanks to my girlfriend, and that's true. Of course, I didn't grow just because of her. I grew because of my experience. I think that the most important, let's say, growth period started at Toyota, because I met so many amazing people, including yourself, and that's how I started to rethink certain things in my life. uh, I stopped being so arrogant. I started being more open to people. Also a friend of mine in the Netherlands. Um, I I just want to say hello to him. Hello, Jaco, because he said a really nice thing to me once. He said that you can learn everything from like you can learn something from everyone, including a garbage man, because a man for sure knows something that you don't know. There
Mm.
is at least one thing he knows you don't know. uh, but going back to your question, what if you were still single? uh, I think it's like 90% sure that I would be entrepreneur. Don't know on what stage, But if it was still, let's say, stage of my business as it is now, probably I would be still living with my parents just to save some more money to push my business further. That would be my approach.
Hmm.
Um and what else?
It,
Probably my business mental breakdowns would be worse than they are, because when I have this one of my business mental breakdowns, then I just go, and of course it's not like straight away I go to Monica and say, hey, I have a bad time right now. No,
yeah.
it takes sometimes hours, sometimes days, until I open up and say, yeah, I'm not feeling well lately. Like,
Mhm.
I can see that it's like I'm I'm, let's say, drowning in some way. Uh, so yeah, I hope it answers your question.
It does, and I'm sure she'll be very happy to hear it. But as a follow up, like people would say that, oh, you're very lucky to meet someone like that who supports you on your dream, blah 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 blah. I don't have someone like that. Um, what would you say to so if someone comes to you and say that they're really struggling, you're lucky, um, they are not like you, they don't have someone who is there to listen to their problems and support them. What would you say to them in order to help them get out of that thought that they get stuck in?
Mm, you know what? Um, I think that we as people are not lone wolves. we
Mm,
are we are social animals, and therefore we need friends, or partners. Actually, I think at some point in our life, everyone needs a partner, or maybe they will have like multiple partners in their life. That's none of my business, right? Not everyone has to find a partner for life. That's true. That's true, and we have to normalize it, to be honest. But yeah, regardless, uh, if you want to find someone really valuable in your life who will support you, no matter whether it's a partner or a friend, there is one thing you need to do. You need to open up.
mm,
You need to stop hiding in your shell, and pushing away people from yourself, because that's what I was doing before I met my girlfriend. I was hiding in my shell. I was hiding in my hard as rock skin. I didn't let anything out, and some problems just accumulated in me. Then I had nice conversation with a friend of mine, and she told me that I need to stop being closed. I need to open up. And
mm.
then I decided to open up, and 1 month later, I met Monica. So
Wow.
maybe it's a coincidence, maybe it's not. We will never know.
Yeah. Wow. Uh, great answer. I'm glad that I asked you. I think, yeah. Although I think although it's not directly entrepreneurship relevant, but having someone there to support you is part of the journey, and having someone who doesn't support you is also part of the journey. But the only commonality between having someone to support you and having someone to not support you is you. You are there no matter what happens. So and it's also quite nice that you ended up on the vulnerability thing about opening up, etc. So yeah, love that answer.
Okay.
Right.
So my last question actually will be a question to you, but also to myself.
Okay,
But I will let you answer first, and
let's do it.
then I will add something. So, uh, what if we haven't started Newborn Hustlers?
Uh, oh wow. Um, what if we haven't started Newborn Hustlers show?
Yeah.
Uh, I think if we hadn't started Newborn Hustlers show, I wouldn't been this. I wouldn't be as courageous to try something new and different. I think, sometimes I do think to myself that doing this, some people will say, oh, but no one watches it. But, well, there are 3 people who watches it now, but someone will say, oh, no one watches it. Views on YouTube are not high. You're not creating content, blah, 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 blah. But you know what? It really made me is 2 things. One is that because you and I are doing it together, I feel I have to hold accountable for my actions and my behaviors because I have to answer to you. And when there's accountability, you do things. And that's why we are now doing this for 22 episodes. Now, this is the 22nd episode, which means that we'll be doing this for 22 weeks. And God knows, for another 4 weeks, we'd have done it for a full 6 months. And 6 months just went past like that. And I wouldn't have done something for 6 months. And this leads to my second point, if I hadn't had this experience. Now, for example, I know that if I were to create my own, I don't know, YouTube channel or my own little show, which I am planning to, I wouldn't have the confidence to be able to do it or the courage to do it because I'll be like, oh, no one's going to watch it. Oh, I don't think I can do it for 6 weeks. I'm not going to be consistent. But me working with you for the last 22 weeks have made me realize that I can do it. I realized that I have the courage to be able to do it. I can do it. I have the confidence. I might not be perfect, which I'm not, but I can really get in the habit in place and just repeat, get better, repeat, get better, repeat, get better. So I think if we hadn't had started Newborn Hustler show, I think I would still be procrastinating on a lot of things. I would be thinking about it and I wouldn't do it. And I think, the fact that we're working on this makes me realize the importance of just habitually do something and improve as you go. And, sometimes it's also about learning how to work with other people, right? So, for example, when me and you work together, you will have views on something. I might have view on something. But because we're mature enough to just go, you know what? Let's just put this out there and we'll just discuss.
Mm.
That we don't have to hide anything. We just say it and that's it. We try something, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So I think it gave me a lot of perspectives into the real world of becoming an entrepreneur. And I have to say, I don't think I've ever told you this, but I think me working with you, seeing how you do things, seeing that you go out there and do things, actually give me some healthy pressure to know that what, I have to up my game. I have to put myself on a different level so that I can actually be closer to the definition of an entrepreneur, of a hustler, like not just thinking about it and not doing it. So for me, accountability, confidence, and courage are things that I might not have had as much as I have today if we hadn't started Newborn Hustlers show. So that's my answer. What about you?
Okay. But when it comes to myself, so this year, with the start of this year, I became quite big on producing video content. I started producing videos to you. I keep on practicing making video content, and that's even more difficult for us. The live video content, that's even more difficult because for the video content that you record on your own and then edit and put out man, you can you can have so many takes. You can rehearse your video so many times, whatever you like. But live video content is above it, you know. So, and actually live video content then helps me to create my, let's say, scripted video content, because this scripted video content becomes less scripted, and I become more like going live. So instead, so at the very beginning, when I was supposed to create 5 minutes video, I had to record for over an hour, and now I record 20 to 30 minutes of material and then edit it to 15 minutes. So that's a big difference. But overall, I like, so if it wasn't for you, if it wasn't for Newborn Hustlers show, I would haven't I wouldn't have this, let's say, accountability to do something consistent, to consistently, as we do Newborn Hustlers show.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's it. You know, I think we touched on a common thing, right, which is on accountability, which is I can't just say I don't feel like doing it today, so Dan, off you go. You're gonna do it on your own, right?
Yeah,
We can't do that anymore.
no,
Even
no.
if I feel tired, we still have to make sure our Thursday call happen. I still have to create my, you know, your StreamYard and your whatever. So
By the way, our tomorrow's call cannot happen. Sorry.
fine. It just means that I've got more time in the gym.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
How do you? Okay, that was the 6 questions, by the way. So, how do you
Yeah.
feel, Dan?
Good. Of course, we ran overtime. We were supposed to make it in 15 to 20 minutes. We went almost 40 minutes, but I guess that's how our brains and our mouth works. We just produce a lot of ideas, a lot of words, but hopefully not meaningless words.
Yeah, absolutely. And I particularly enjoy this conversation because it feels like we are talking about things that we wouldn't normally share, actually.
Hmm.
And obviously, there were some very personal questions. We started off quite commercial, and then we moved into more personal questions. And I think it's just who we are, you know, like it just shows that in business and in personal life, we are the same person, you know, we don't show up one way and then personally we're like, oh, someone who is indifferent. So yeah, I very much enjoy the conversations. I think it's a great episode.
Yeah, and when it comes to, going overtime, we have to remember that Joe Rogan records a podcast that lasts for 2 3 hours, and thousands of people are listening to it. So hopefully one day thousands, at least 1,000 of people will be listening to our thing. But for now, we are grateful for every single person that shows up.
Yeah, we are definitely grateful for that. You know, we don't take people's time lightly, and we hope that you enjoy, you know, in some way or the other, whether you have learned something in business or you learned something about us personally as a person. It, there's a takeaway, and that's it.
Exactly. Yes.
Cool. So we are coming up to the end of the episode, and no matter where you're watching, if you enjoy what we just talked about, give us a like and subscribe, and maybe even share with a friend. You know, like if someone you can think of needs that accountability, then what you need to do is to tell him or her to follow us on Instagram. You know, at the Newborn Hustlers, and it's just because we are more than happy to have a chat with him or her to help him or her get some clarity on what he or she wants to do. And then we will do it together with him or her, you know, like no one should be left alone to do their stuff, particularly if they're talented in what they're doing as well. So make sure you follow us on Instagram at the Newborn Hustlers. Drop us a DM If you think that there's something we can work on better, let us know. If you think we're great, let us know. If you want to refer us to somebody else, let us know. And I think that is all the plugins we've got. So any last words from you, Dan, before we clock off?
Or maybe let's do it otherwise. Like, let's reverse it. So if you think we are great, don't follow us on Instagram. Don't send us messages. Don't like our posts. Then we will think that we are all great because we don't get any of that.
That's a good way of telling ourselves a new story.
Yeah. All
Cool.
right.
All right.
I really enjoyed it. Have a good night, Zayne. Have a good night, everyone, and
Yeah,
speak to you
same.
next week.
See you all next week. Goodbye.